Do 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 do.
Bop, bop.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very special E3 slash Summer Game Fest Burnout Brighter podcast. This episode is going to be focused all about the Square Enix Present that we just saw. We saw roughly 40 to 50 minutes of games, including some cool new announcements and stuff we're very excited about. But before we get into the nitty gritty of all the games that we saw, let's talk a little bit about what we thought about the showcase as a whole. Destiny, what did you think of the Square Enix Presents as a conference in and of itself?
I think they did a really good job, honestly. I think everything had nice pacing. I was really excited about the games that they showed. They also dropped some information on the mobile games, which was very quick, which I liked because I felt like we didn't really need like a whole trailer for each game.
Yeah.
And I think they started off really strong with Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I was excited to see the trailer, the cinematic, and then some of the gameplay. So I think they did a fantastic job, honestly. I was stoked to watch it, and I was excited that I got to like share it with you guys.
Aw, Darren, what about you? What did you think?
Yeah, I think they did a good job. I think Destiny's right on the money with the pacing. Like, it was not longer than it had to be. The games that needed elaboration got elaboration, and the games that just needed a 1 minute trailer got a 1 minute trailer. There's only one instance where I thought they could have spent a little more time clarifying something, which we'll get into a second with the Final Fantasy collection. But yeah, I mean, overall, for like a 45-minute showing from a single publisher, like, they had a more to show than I thought they did, and so that's always good. So better than Ubisoft.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think that, like, I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of negative reactions online, which for me, I just don't really understand. I think is just a thing of expectations versus what we saw, which is weird because going into it, they had a list of what they were going to be talking about. So people shouldn't be surprised that they didn't see Final Fantasy 16. People shouldn't be surprised that we didn't get Final Fantasy Remake Part 2. And I think that's
Yeah.
just what people wanted. I thought the showcase was great. Like you guys said, I think it was paced well. Some people are complaining that the Guardians bit went on too long. I think it was perfect. Give us that cinematic, give us some gameplay without overdoing it. I thought it was really well done. And I thought the rest of it, like the mobile stuff, was just long enough. We'd only got a couple kind of big games in there, but I think that at the speed that it went with, I think they did really well. I think it was a really, really solid conference. So guys, let's get into the actual games themselves. So what we started off with was Guardians of the Galaxy. This game has been rumored for quite some time, coming from Eidos Montreal. It's a single player third person action game where you'll be playing Peter Quill, going on an adventure with the Guardians. Gamora, Drax, Groot, and Rocket will all be with you pretty much the entire time, from what we can tell. There a lot of quips, a lot of banter as you guys are in combat. You're able to give the different Guardians different combat orders, just like you would do something in like Mass Effect or Final Fantasy VII Remake. The writing and the voice acting looked and sounded great. There's a lot of dialogue options and different choices. Like, for example, there was a scene where they're trying to figure out what to do, and you have a choice to either sell Rocket or sell Groot, and depending on your choices, the characters react in certain different ways. We don't know how meaningful these decisions will be, but the game looks like a lot of fun. And I'm personally am very, very excited to get my hands on it because it's already coming October 26th, 2021, which means this game is less than 6 months out. I thought the reveal was perfect. We got cinematic, we got gameplay, less than 6 months. I thought they aced it with Guardians. I'm really looking forward to it. Destiny, what did you think of from what we saw from Guardians?
Bro, I was super excited. Like I wasn't really like it wasn't really on my radar, to be honest with you. But after seeing the trailer, I was just like kind of blown away. The character modeling, first of all, looked phenomenal, and I was over the moon that the characters don't look like their actor counterparts from the movie. I felt like that was a really smart move on the developers' part. I loved the banter between them. It felt like, okay, that part of it felt like the movie, a bunch of mismatched kind of like anti-heroes coming together to like just figure out how to fucking keep their ship in the beginning, which I thought was really funny. And I love that you could still feel like they all have a lot of personality and character. I do know that you guys brought up the fact that in the other games you felt like there wasn't enough talking, and I feel like this is like the perfect amount of talking. It's not too much, it's not too little, like it's just it's flowing with the game, and everything that they're commenting on and talking about is basically what's happening around them, which I think is really, really nice.
Yeah, I agree. I think the thing that works really well with the banter is that it seems like it's written well and it has actually funny. Darren, I know you felt generally warm, a little bit nervous about the combat. Tell me why.
Yeah, so when you told me about this rumor when it first came out that Square is going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy game, I was thinking, "Oh God, please no! They're going to ruin another Marvel game. I am so upset." But I think because of my low expectations going into the preview, like I was much more impressed with it and much happier with what they showed than I was dreaming up in my brain as worst case scenario. Yeah, I do have questions. I'll say that the
Mhm,
things that I like, so happy it's a single player game. Holy crap. That's what, again,
mhm,
what Avengers should have been. It's a single player story driven game. And I think it was also really smart to focus on only one playable character. You play Star Lord the whole
mhm,
time, so they can make him feel really good and they're not going to water the other characters down by making them playable. What's got me worried a little bit, yeah, I just don't know how much the choices are going to matter. They showed us some good choices and they showed us some examples of choices that will have repercussions, things that like you actually do decide who goes in the box and you're going to lose that character for a bit. But for the rest of the game, we haven't seen it. And I've been burned by a lot of games like the Telltale games and Until Dawn, where I mean, it's kind of weird because in games like that, your choices do matter, but in like very specific ways. It's nothing like Disco Elysium where they matter like insane amounts. Um,
mhm.
but the biggest thing that worries me is the combat. Like I saw at the end of each combat scenario, there's this weird like zoom in on Star Lord, and it's like encounter bonus, and it's like leveling up an experience bar. It seemed almost too arcadey. And then also because Star Lord is a ranged, focused character, all the moments where he was just shooting his guns looked kind of boring. Like when he went in for melee attacks, you could see that the enemies had a lot more response to what he was doing, which makes sense because it's a melee attack. But he never
Mhm.
used any other weapons other than his guns. Like his melee attacks were just beating the things with his guns. I'm like, is he gonna get other weapons? Like, I
Mhm.
wanted to see more. I'm worried that it will get boring over the course of the entire game. That's my biggest worry.
I think, okay, so I think the fact, okay, I feel like that's his character though.
Yeah.
Like he uses guns and he punches things, and hopefully like the story and everything that else that's going into this game is going to keep you interested in it. But like I just don't see him like switching to a lot of different weapons unless for some reason in the game there's a consequence, like he gets captured and he has to like you said earlier when we were talking, pick up a pipe. But then again, that's not very exciting either. So I just feel like we can't expect a lot of like changes with his fighting style, because that's really who he is. That's he totes guns and he punches things. So
Yeah, I'm hoping the variation will come in terms of like, and they showed a bit of different kind of like elemental shots. They had like an ice, like what looked like ice ammo that froze weapon, like froze enemies. So I'm hoping the variation will come in there. I do understand your concerns, Darren, with kind of just the one kind of focused style of combat. Depending on the length of the game, might get stale as things go. But I'm curious to see more. This was the first time that we've ever seen the game. It's already coming out in less than 6 months, and I was impressed with what I saw. And as Darren, as I had initial worries, the same as Darren going into it after what they did to Avengers. I was nervous, but I was really happy with what we saw. The game looks pretty, and we had almost like Telltale style pop-ups where at one point you're going up to this kind of crevice and Drax picks up Rocket and he's like, "You want me to throw him across?" And you have a choice to either encourage him or tell him to drop it. The player that was playing encouraged him to throw, so you toss Rocket across this canyon and he opens the way for you. But then you got a little pop up saying Rocket is furious that you let Drax do this. So as you said, Darren, we only saw one level in terms of gameplay. I'm curious to see what the full game will look like and what the variety will be like. But coming October 26th, 2021, very, very soon. I hope we get to see more from it
can I just
in
say
the
one
coming
thing
months.
before we move on?
Mhm.
Just the at the end we saw he has something like a limit break where he actually holds up his like cassette player. I
Yeah.
think that was super important, and I was like, man, I don't want us to not mention that. I love the fact
Yes.
that they kept the music in the
Mhm.
game, and I thought that was just a very clever way to implement like his like super limit breaker power at the end, where he just goes like full like fucking blast blast
Yeah.
blast blast pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I thought the music was a nice touch, and I actually did see on Twitter already that they're going to have a toggle that you can turn the music off in case you're going to be streaming the game, so you won't get DMCA'd out the ass. So it looks like they are thinking
nice.
about that
Good.
before the game comes
That's
out.
smart.
The next thing after that very lengthy Guardians of the Galaxy section, we got something that made us all very, very excited, and then very, very not so excited.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy Collection is coming. It's like the what is it? The Pixel Collection, Pixel Remaster, which has Final Fantasy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in a collection. Right now, the only thing that we got announced was Steam and mobile. There were rumors and there was box art that was apparently leaked showing a Switch mock-up of a box art. So whether that's true or not, we don't know just yet. The only thing that's worst confirmed so far was Steam and mobile. Whether we see this game at Nintendo in a couple days remains to be seen. But I think the idea of this collection is cool. As long as they're getting the right ports for these games, to have all 6 of these games together in one spot would be amazing. Destiny, as the kind of Final Fantasy mega fan between the three of us.
Connoisseur.
Hey, the
I'm pretty
connoisseur.
excited about it. I have Steam. I'm a PC gamer, so like that's not a problem to me. I don't think I would actually want to play the game on Switch because I don't know. I don't know. I don't care if it's on Switch or not. I don't want that to sound bad, but
No, that's fine.
I don't really like that doesn't really bother me. Um so I'm excited about it. But one of the things I did worry about is something that Darren brought up. Darren, why don't you tell us what you brought up about the ports that like basically I was like, oh shit, maybe he's right.
Yeah, because if it's only coming to Steam and mobile, I was like, oh god, is Square just gonna make a collection of all the mobile ports that already exist? Because those mobile ports are famous for ruining all the beautiful pixel art. They basically took this really nice pixel art and put this horrible like smoothing filter over all the sprites. It made it look like it was made in like Microsoft Paint or something. Looking at the trailer, it showed some footage. Yeah, it looks horrible. I don't think they'll do it because I remember in the trailer they're showing like footage of like the proper NES graphics of like Final Fantasy 1. So like it makes me think it's just going to be the original versions, and that if that's the case, that would make me happy. Otherwise, like, oh god, not again.
Right.
Yeah, I'm hoping we'll see more of it coming. I know all we got was that coming soon. We didn't get any release date or even release window, just coming soon. The next thing that we saw very, very briefly was a short trailer for Legend of Mana, which is coming June 24th, 2021. So it's right around the corner. I personally have no feelings about this whatsoever. Destiny, are you somebody who cares about Legend of Mana?
I'm excited. These are all games that I used to play when I was like a lot younger. Not that I'm a lot older now, but it's nostalgia baiting basically. I'm like just excited that they're bringing back all of these games and like now I can play them on a new system because of course I don't own the old systems anymore. So I'm just excited to get back in there and get those little warm feelings I used to have when I played them.
Little warm fuzzies.
Little
and that was
fuzzies.
confirmed to be coming to PS4, Switch, and Steam on June 24th. The next thing, which I'm going to let Darren go off about in a second, is we got an Avengers update. We saw some of the Cosmic Cube missions, which is what they've been talking about on their roadmap, where you'll be going up against Monica, aka the Scientist Supreme, who has a Cosmic Cube. They talked about Wasteland Patrols coming soon, and then we got a teaser for Wakanda. Black Panther himself looks very interesting. Claw is also there, but all we got for something that's theoretically supposed to be coming out in the next 6 months was a cinematic trailer. For me, this blew my mind that we didn't get any gameplay from Black Panther with the level of hype that is surrounding him and how many people are looking at Avengers and being like, what are you going to do? Are you going to fix yourself or is this game dead? Darren, what did you think from what we saw from Avengers? And tell me why you don't feel good.
Listen, I think this is why also like I think people are being Well, I mean, it's not fair to say that they're being hard on Guardians of the Galaxy because like it could be worse. It could be Avengers. Like Avengers is like, I think this is what Square Enix did. Maybe they did it on purpose. Like release an Avengers game that's so disappointing that like their next Marvel game cannot be like anything but like praised afterwards. Um, I it just bothers me the lack of content. You know, like you said, Matt, this thing's coming out in 6 months and you can't give us gameplay. And you know why they can't give us gameplay? Because it's going to be the same gameplay that's been in every single content drop since launch. They cannot create content fast enough for the game, and they cannot make this content varied enough to like support a like a healthy long-term ecosystem. uh I just, I will never not be disappointed in that game.
Destiny, I know you're a massive Black Panther fan, so tell me a little bit about what it felt like seeing Black Panther for the first time properly for Marvel's Avengers, regardless of the quality of the game itself.
I was a little surprised. I didn't expect him to look the way he looked. So I was like, is this a different Black Panther? Like,
Yeah.
but also because Claw looked incredibly younger. So I was also kind of confused there. I never played the Avengers games just because, like, you guys are going to be like, what? I was not very interested in the movies either. So I didn't really watch Yeah. I'm sorry. It just felt kind of like, let's just get everybody together and fight this big evil thing. And then that's the end. Like, it just, I don't know. It just, I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah,
so
that's okay.
Black Panther, I was definitely behind because, you know, Wakanda forever and ever and ever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about it. First of all, you guys are probably going to be like, what? How did Claw get in there to start this huge, like, war? Like, Wakanda's supposed to be, like, one of these places that is guarded, like, to the teeth. So I was just like, he's in there blowing shit up. Like, there's a war in Wakanda. Like, what's happening? Like,
he's crafty.
This isn't a thing.
He's crafty.
He is very crafty. But, like, it's him against the entire fucking, like, city.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see. The story seems kind of weak just from what we saw. Like, they didn't really show a lot other than, like, some banter, like, you're not going to do this. And he's like, yeah, but I already did it kind of thing. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm not very excited about it, which makes me sad because I want to support it.
I completely agree. And like, I went actually back to Avengers and played through the Kate Bishop and the Hawkeye DLCs, and they were both fine. The story was nothing to write home about. And if it's that level of quality coming to Black Panther, I don't know. I don't know how this game is going to recover. The next thing that we got was a bit of a sizzle reel for a bunch of mobile stuff. There was a Hitman mobile game called Hitman Sniper that was announced that is coming out today. You can go play that. Nier Reincarnation, another mobile game set in the Nier universe. A bunch of Final Fantasy mobile stuff. Final Fantasy 7 Battle Royale, which was called The First Soldier. We got a little bit of gameplay for that. That is supposed to be coming worldwide this year. And then the next full game that we got to look at was Babylon's Fall, coming to us from who?
Platinum Games.
Thank you, Platinum Games. They have now told us that Babylon's Fall will be a live service game. It does look like it has multiplayer, and it looks like Godfall. I don't know. That trailer did nothing for me. Well, it looked kind of pretty as we kind of went into it. The more I saw of the gameplay, the less I liked. It looks like kind of like this kind of normal co-op hack and slash. We know it's coming to PS5, PS4, and Steam. Darren, I want to ask you, because you're a big Platinum Games fan, but you are an even bigger hater of live service games. Tell me what you thought about Babylon's Fall.
Yeah, it's one of these situations where like the longer the trailer went on, the less excited I got for it. Because when they first announced this 2 years ago, I was like, oh man, like Platinum Games is doing like a dark fantasy like game. This is gonna be so good. And the trailer opens and like it's gorgeous and like you've got great music and it's epic. And then you first show like 4 characters. I'm like, cool. And they're all moving at the same time. Like, oh, okay, I guess it's like a multiplayer co-op thing. Like, all right, you know, Platinum Games hasn't really done that before, so like, I could dig it. And then it just keeps going.
His excitement meter is just
yeah. And then I'm thinking,
hear it in
I'm
his
like,
voice.
yeah. I'm thinking, I'm like, was it announced as multiplayer before? Like, I don't know. And then Matt's like, I'll check it. And that's when he's like, oh yeah, it's a live service game. I'm like, oh, for God's sakes. Like, so by the end of the trailer, I was kind of just really sad. Because Square Enix just cannot get enough live service games, and it's getting kind of ridiculous.
I think they're just looking for a hit. They're looking for one to
Yeah.
be successful, and they don't have that right now. So they're trying
Yeah.
anything. Destiny, did Babylon's Fall do absolutely anything for you?
I just felt like the characters should have looked better coming from Square Enix. Because, like, they usually model, like, really nice looking characters, and I don't really want to play an ugly character if I don't have to. So,
Yeah.
Meh. Meh's all around.
meh.
The
meh.
environments were
then
gorgeous,
we
though.
got-
The environments were gorgeous.
Yeah, the environments were beautiful, right? But, like, how long are you going to focus on the foliage?
Yeah. I'm gonna stare at the
We need to
grass
get that
the whole
on a
time.
We need to get that on a shirt. Focus on the foliage. Then we got a Life is Strange update. The remastered collection is coming September 30th. It looked nice. And then we got more of a gameplay demo for Life is Strange True Colors, which is the new game coming September 10th. And this one focuses on Alex, who there was a murder, or not a murder. Somebody died, and she's trying to get down to the bottom of what happened. She has the power of empathy, where she can feel other characters' emotions, and that kind of can impact her own mental state as she kind of it can change your dialogue and it can change the events. So
that sounds so weak. She has the power of empathy.
well, she does, and they made sure to tell us that a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, this world would be a much better place if we all had the power of empathy.
That's true, but she has the power to change people's feelings, so I don't know if it would be that much better. And her brother's the person who died.
Was it her
So
brother?
she's trying to solve that. Yeah, it's her
Okay.
brother. So she's trying to solve that mystery.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've never played any of the Life is Strange games, so I don't know. They always look like I always think they look really interesting. I've just never gotten around to playing them. I'm just gonna kind of throw the ball in the air, whoever catches it, unless it lands back on my head. Anybody have any feelings about Life is Strange True Colors?
I like it.
Okay.
Like I like the foliage. I did mention that the backgrounds look really nice.
But that's
Nice
a game where you can
foliage, nice
focus on the
flowers.
foliage more. There's more time
That's
to focus
right.
on the
Okay,
foliage.
can I just throw this up? This is from Ubisoft. I wasn't on that with you guys. No.
Mhm.
You were
No,
on
that
Was
was
it
me and you,
Ubisoft?
dude.
You know, which one wasn't I on? You guys just
Microsoft.
Yeah, Microsoft. The fucking car game where the guy goes into like, we spent all this time on the cactus needles. I was like, for what, bruh? You're in a car the entire time.
Going like
Why
100 miles
point
an hour.
that out?
Yeah.
Yeah, why point that out? Anyways, I digress. I think it looks very, very interesting. I've always liked the vibe of the Life is Strange games. So I'm excited. I like the fact that they always have a female protagonist. Not that I don't like male protagonists, but I really enjoy playing games that have like other females leading the charge. So I might check it out, or I might just watch somebody else play and bitch at them when they don't make the decisions I think they should make. It depends. But I'm looking forward to it. I think it's beautiful. I'm excited to see the music. And I just wanted to point out, I do like the fact that they had that small interview. I think that was the only interview, kind of, where the girl who does the voice acting, and it was nice, concise, and sweet, you know? And she seemed very excited about the game. So I really liked that they put that in there and not too many interviews.
She does the singing voice and the music for the game.
The singing voice and the music.
Darren, any Life is Strange thoughts?
Yeah, it looked good. Like, Don't Nod definitely deserves a shout out because they're a developer that always cares about representation, and they're always looking to represent in all their games. And I think it looked more impressive to me than Life is Strange 2 did. I haven't played either of them as well. Fun fact, my dad, I think, is literally playing Life is Strange 1 as we speak. But like, 1 looked good. I want to play 1 at some point. 2 looked like whatever. But this looks like a return to form, and I'm also very happy that they're releasing it as one full package. It's not an episodic thing.
Yes.
It's just a one and done story.
One and done.
I like as well.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah. I think it looks visually interesting. I'm curious to see more, and maybe I'll get around to playing one of them before True Colors comes out. The last thing that we saw from Square Enix, which again, there was a lot of rumors about this as well, a Dark Souls-like Final Fantasy game. It was unveiled. It's called Final Fantasy Origin Stranger of Paradise, coming from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. The executions look brutal. The combat and everything, honestly, didn't do much for me. I like the idea of this a lot more. The execution, I thought it looked really muddy. I think like the combat didn't look that responsive. Either it's too early to be showing this game, or we just didn't see enough. It really didn't do much for me. We got a date of 2022. There is a demo coming to PS5, quote unquote, soon. So maybe once I actually go hands on with it, I'll feel better about it. But I don't know. I liked this idea a lot before I saw the trailer, kind of the reverse of Guardians, where I was worried about the idea, liked the execution. I didn't really like what I saw. Destiny, as the resident Final Fantasy connoisseur, and someone who doesn't care for Souls-like, similar to me, did this do anything for you?
Not really. Just watching the gameplay, it seemed very repetitive. Like, I know, like, they showed him, like, switching weapons a couple of times, but it seemed like kind of the same kind of movements.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm not a big person who focuses on that, but it just seemed a little lackluster, right? Like, anticlimactic. Yeah. Like, at first when you watch it and it starts off, it's like, oh, shit, what is this? Yeah. And then, like, you're watching it and you're like, it's not getting any better. Like, is everybody seeing the same thing I'm seeing?
Yeah.
So I think it was really boring. I feel like they could have gone better at like presenting it, because you want to end strong. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they ended strong on showing this game and how they represented it. But I'm curious to see it properly done.
Yeah. Darren, as our Soulsborne connoisseur, what did you think about Final Fantasy Origin Stranger of Paradise? Of course, it's Square Enix. They can't have a normal ass name.
Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. First of all, I want to say my nose has been itching the whole goddamn, video that we've been doing, and I cannot stop scratching it.
Just scratch it.
I've been scratched. I challenge anyone watching this to go back and count how many times I've scratched my damn nose, and then tweet me at burnout_Darren and let me know how many times I've scratched my nose.
Look at that plug.
Make it a drinking game, guys. Make it a drinking game.
You'll be wasted. So I think I'm more excited than you two are, but also I think it's because I'm focusing more on the Dark Soulsy elements. I will say I never played Neo, which Team Ninja did. I never played Neo.
Mm-hmm.
I heard very good things about Neo. So I know that Team Ninja can make a good Souls-like. It's one of the few Souls-likes that people are like, yeah, definitely go play it. But I think what Dark Souls, because Dark Souls, despite it being famous for like dying and like fighting big monsters, I wouldn't say the focus is on the combat. So the combat doesn't really bother me that much. Because the focus is more on like exploration and solving the mystery and puzzle of the world and learning and stuff like that. But what I will say is that the Souls games always have a variety of levels and environments. Whereas this trailer, we kind of only showed this one dark, angsty castle with these 3 dark, angsty characters. And it was a lot of dark, angsty stuff the whole time. So if it's like that the whole game, I'll be disappointed. But if we can get some kind of variety in armors and weapons and visuals, I think it will probably show a lot better. So I'm hoping that next time they show this, they just show us like some other variety of things. But I'm actually quite optimistic about this one. Very excited for the idea.
Really?
Well. Yeah.
I am so surprised.
How the shoe fits on the other
right?
foot. Like I said, what we know is this game is scheduled to come out in 2022 with a demo coming to PS5 soon. And that, my friends, brings us to the end of our Square Enix Presents post-show. What did you think? Are we nuts? Did you think Guardians looked bad? If you did, you're wrong. What did you think about the rest of the showcase? How are you feeling? What are you excited about? Go check out our other post-shows. We have post-shows for almost every major conference, and we'll have more stuff coming in the next few days. Let's hope that Final Fantasy collection is coming to Switch, and we'll find that at Nintendo. Kia, let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see you guys on the next show. 14 Burnout. Peace out.
Oh, don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and hit that bell so you can get notified when we put up our podcast videos and anything else. And now,
Smash it!
Burnout Brighter out.
Bye.